Good morning and welcome to my studio. So I want to give you some upcoming information about our Glaze Your Own Pottery class. And although it has absolutely nothing to do with Glaze Your Own Pottery class, I thought, why not do it while doing a demonstration of throwing pottery, because it's a whole lot more interesting than just watching me talk. So I'm going to move you up a little closer so you can not see my ugly face, but just go ahead and watch what's going on with the beauty of the pottery and talk a little bit so that you have some info on upcoming class and a little bit about what to expect and just some general information, because when we get to class there's just so much going on. I don't like to talk a lot. It's a night out and it's fun and there's just so much information to give. And so if I can give you a little bit preemptively in a video, that's awesome. I teach a lot of that in my college that way too. So my college classes. So all right, let's get started. So the big thing that I like to let people know is that this is Glaze Your Own Pottery class and it is not Glaze Desire Pottery class. So when you come to my sale, what you get is a piece of hand-thrown, hand-pulled pottery from my wheel, which means I'm going to sit here and hand-pull this from a lump of clay on my wheel. When you come to Glaze Your Own Pottery Night, it is not a piece that I have made. It is a piece I've purchased. The fact of the matter is, because I work 2 other jobs and because I just don't have time at this point in my career, I don't have time to make all the pieces for Glaze Your Own Pottery Night, and I just wouldn't be able to keep up and do them if I did. So I purchased the pieces. It's much like what you would find if you went to a Glaze Your Own Pottery place. I purchased them from a company. They look like this. And this is just one example. I actually have several shapes that you get to choose from when you come in. These are hand pulled. These that you paint that night are actually a ceramic pour. Both are considered true pottery, but these are a ceramic pour that goes into a vessel, and they're perfect every time because they're exact, versus a hand pulled, which wouldn't be the same every time. Now, if you were to go down to our local Ceramics with Class store or another ceramic store, or throw some of the other ceramic places in town, sorry if I'm stuttering, what you would find is that they are low fire ceramics. And because they are low fire, they use underglazes. Now, underglazes work more like paints, as in when you paint something, the glaze stays exactly where you put it. Which is why I highly recommend, taking your kids there. It's awesome for them. They love it. They still get the whole pottery experience. But it's a little easier for them to wrap their heads around. But anyways, they use these underglazes, and the glazes don't move. What we are using is a high fire clay and high fire glazes. So think of our glazes more along the lines of lava. Some of them move, some of them rotate, and some of them melt more. They have a life of their own. They don't stay exactly where you put them. They melt down and move around a little. So you don't want to think of it so much as like painting exactly what you're going to get. Now, if you do want to do that, I do have underglazes available, and I do have some glazes available to you that are definitely more stable glazes, and then I have, traditional glazes that really have that melting point. Most people will choose the ones that run because they're the ones that have that true pottery look, and it really helps when you're glazing if you don't get an exact science or an exact look in your head of what you want it to be, but kind of let the pot kind of have a magic of the surprise and the element of it in your head. And I think as a beginning potter, that was like the hardest thing for me to accept, was that, I didn't get exact control over what my pot was going to look like when it was done. So the first thing that I was doing was called centering and coning. This step is called opening. I'm working with a 240 white clay, which is the same clay body that we use the night of our glaze class, but usually I use a 112 speckled clay, and sometimes I use a 240 dark chocolate clay. And fun fact about glazes is that they look completely different on different clay bodies. So something that you buy at my sale, you might not, even though you have the same exact glazes at the class, you wouldn't be able to duplicate what it looked like because they're different clay bodies. So they don't always look the same on the different clay bodies. So imagine how frustrated I feel when I'm glazing, trying to keep track of it all. It's not frustrating, it's an adventure. I have a great friend that helps me, Katie Rhodes, and if it weren't for her, she keeps me straight on stuff. But she helps me a whole lot. And she'll be helping along with the sales. She is my right arm for pottery and glazing, and she'll be there to help you. So when you come in, you'll be able to pick out your mug, and there will be about 20 different glazes for you to choose from. And you get to pick out your colors. And we do have some suggestions there of glazes that we know turn out good, or glazes that we've done that we think are wins, and you're more than welcome to follow our lead on those and pick one and do it, and we know it'll turn out wonderful. Or you can go hog wild and just pick random colors and put them together and, be brave and see how they turn out for yourself. There's no guarantee they'll be wonderful, but hey, I say go for it. Life is an adventure. Now, because in my last couple classes people have been so adventurous, I have decided to start something new. We also have had a lot of return potters coming back for glazing, which I wasn't expecting when I started all this. So on that note, this is what I've decided to do. For every class, I'm going to buy one new glaze that I have never used before. And it is only going to be for the very brave, because I have no experience with it. So if you choose to use that, just know that I have no experience with it. We will be experimenting clearly together. But I will buy one new glaze, and we can give it a try together. So there'll be limited quantity, and when they're gone, they're gone. But I think for those of you that return class after class, that'll be a really fun chance to experiment with something new, and guys, even in my world, as many pots as I make, not every pot is a win in my world, but I enjoy the experience either way. And one thing I have learned, if a pot's ugly and you put a plant in it, it looks beautiful when you're done. Okay, so use this page for any and all questions. I want not just questions about glazing, but any questions you have about pottery at all. I am here to answer. I am super excited to teach. I have a lot of people that ask about, me giving lessons. I would love to. I don't have the facility. The Community Arts Center teaches classes, and they have a beautiful facility, but I do not. Maybe someday. Someday I would love to. But in the meantime, this is the only way that I can share a little bit of my knowledge with you guys for right now. But if there's any questions, I love to answer. I love, 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 love teaching. And I'm happy to teach. So reach out, throw me a message, share your pictures, make sure you take before and after pictures. I'm really looking forward to having class with you guys. And I hope you have enjoyed your demo. I'll see you guys later.